Hi scientists! Last week in science we learned all about worms. This week we're going to move on to our next animal, which are called isopods. So first we're going to read about isopods to learn about what they are, and then after I have a quick activity for you to try out.
All right, so the section in our book starts like this. It's called Isopods. Isopods are animals. Where do you find isopods? These isopods live on land. Look for them under leaves and rocks where it is moist. Isopods eat leaves, seeds, and fruit. They help make soil. So you might have seen these tiny little animals before outside. If you've ever flipped over a rock, they like to live under rocks and leaves in the soil where it is moist. This section ends with saying they help make soil. I think we learned about another animal that helps make soil. What other animal makes soil? Last week we learned about worms, and worms, one of their important jobs is to help make fresh soil. All right, on this side it says isopods have antennae and legs. They have segments too. Some isopods move fast. Ooh, I see that word segments again. I remember we learned that worms also have segments. So on isopods, these little sections are their segments. Isopods also have antennae, which are these things right here. Kind of like our snails. Snails have tentacles. Antennae kind of do the same thing. They help the isopods sense what's in front of them. All isopods breathe with gills. What other animal has gills? Oh, we learned that fish have gills, and now we know isopods also have gills. These isopods live in water. Oh, so some isopods live on land, some live in water. How are these isopods the same? How are they different? So I can see some of these are water isopods, like this one right here. Some are land isopods. I can see that the color of all the isopods are different. Some things that are the same, they all have legs, they all have segments, and they all have gills and antennae. All right, we're going to stop our reading here, and next we're going to do a quick project with our isopods.
For our activity, we are going to do a labeled drawing of an isopod. So here are the important body parts that we learned about. We learned that isopods have antennae, lots of legs, they have segments just like worms, and they have gills that help them breathe just like fish. I'm going to start my drawing with the isopod's body. So they have a nice round body that's like a shell, and then they have segments. So I'm going to draw again, just like the worms, those little sections that help the isopod move. Those are the segments. Next, I'm going to draw the antennae, which just like the snails, they come out the top of their head. Next, I'm going to draw all the legs. On each side. All right. Now we can start to label. So I'm going to label by pointing and writing the word. These are the isopods' antennae. Then we have the legs. And the segments. Alright, now that we have our beautiful labeled drawing, I want you to try writing one sentence about something you learned about isopods. So I'm going to do my sentence right down here. So here is my finished activity. I have my drawing with labels, the legs, segments, and antennae, and I have my sentence about something I learned about isopods. Here's my sentence. I learned that isopods help make soil. That is one fact I learned from our reading today. I hope you had fun learning about this new animal called isopods. I hope you try out the activity and share your drawing and one thing you learned that is special about isopods today. I'll see you guys next time.